Once there were two humpbacked men named Crick and Crack. Crick was a kindly little fellow who sold hats, and Crack was a foul, loathsome, festering blister of a man. One day, Crick, in his travels selling his hats, went over the old pass of Knockgrafton to a far-away town, and he was selling his hats all day, and as the sun was setting, he realized that he hadn't left himself time to get back home. He set off on the road, but his heart was heavy, for he knew that his road would take him over the pass and right past the gates of the old ruined castle up there. It was said that that castle was haunted by the faerie people, and a mortal man who had dealings with the faerie people never knew what might happen to him. They might do him great good, but they might take him prisoner beneath their faerie hill and keep him for hundreds of years, and let him go only when everyone he knew had died and turned to dust. So you can imagine that Crick's heart was beating fast as he came up the path in the deepening gloom and saw the tower of the old castle like a fang ahead of him. And then his path led straight by the ruined gate, which gaped like a toothless mouth, and a cold vapor came out of it. He nerved himself, said, and then he marched past the gate, step, 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 and he was past. But just then he heard singing, and it was beautiful singing. Dance around the old tree, dance around the old tree. And Crick felt himself drawn back and into the gate that he had just passed with such terror, and on into the ruined castle. He found himself in a courtyard, open to the stars, with a big old oak tree in the middle, and the faerie people had joined hands and were dancing around and singing, dance around the old tree, dance around the old tree, dance around the old tree, dance around the old tree. Their song went on and on and on until Crick felt that he must add something to it or go mad, and so he called out, and sing till the dawn. What place is the man that was after the changing of our song? There's the man! And he felt invisible hands pulling himself forward, and then he stood in their circle. Stand before us, O great artist and musician! You have forever improved our song. Now dance with us the night! And so Crick found himself whirling and swirling through a dance all the night long, until the fires of the morning sun pinked the sky, and they said, now ask of us whatever reward you will. And all he could think of to ask was, do you suppose you could be taking the hump off me back? No sooner said than done. The faerie people laid their gentle hands on him, and that hump shifted itself and fell to the ground with a thump, a smooth grey stone. And Crick stood upright for the first time in his life. He looked around for the faerie people to thank them, but they were gone with the morning sun. He ran down the other side of the pass, ran back to the village where he was born. He cried out, "'Tis me, 'tis Crick, and I've been cured, look at me, look at me." The people said, "Who is that? What's that? Who's that?" Crick said, "Don't you know me? I'm Crick." And a terrible suspicion came into his mind. But no, there was the face of the bartender, and there was the face of the butcher and the merchant. It was all people he knew. They just didn't recognize him because he was without his hump. Well, they soon did recognize him, and they took him into the tavern, and there he told his whole story. And who should overhear but Crack? "If the faerie folk can be after the curing of Crick, They can just be after taking a hump off me back as well. And so Crack went back home, and he ordered his cart filled with goods and blankets and drink, for he was a rich man, and he had himself driven out to the old castle and left there alone. And you can leave the cart too. Back home, will you? Come back in the morning. But sir, 'tis 5 miles. Then the sooner you start, the sooner you'll be finished. And then Crack was there, and he heard the singing start. Dance around the old tree, dance around the old tree, and sing till the dawn, and sing till the dawn. Well, he stomped into the castle, thinking to himself, Crick just added the dawn to their song. I shall add the whole next day. Yeah, that's not enough. I'll add the whole next week. Nah, that's not enough either. I shall add the whole next month to theirs. Nah, that's not enough. That's not enough. I shall add the whole next year to their song. Nah, that's not enough. That's not enough. That's enough. I shall add the whole next decade to their song. Yeah, that's not enough. I shall add the whole next century, and my reward will be much greater than Crick's. So he strode into the fairy circle, and he cried out, and sing all the next day, and all the next night, and all the next week, month, day, year, whatever, century. So there. Now, I'll have a chest of gold and a chest of silver after you've taken the hump off my back, and a chest of pearls, and a chest of rubies, and a chest of diamonds. But the fairy people said, stand before us, O foul, loathsome, festering, cankering, pus-filled, blistering sore of a man! You have forever ruined our song. Crack said, well, actually, Crick told me to come and... But they didn't listen. They picked up that smooth grey stone and set it on Crack's hump, where it fastened itself as if it had been nailed. Ah, Crack walked bent to the ground with the weight of 2 humps the rest of his life. He was soon dead without life, and good riddance to him. But Crick, why, he married a fine young lass, and I was at that wedding, and there was I given shoes made of buttermilk, and I have danced from here to the moon and back